Hello, I'm Mr. G. The G is not for Google, but it fits. And thank you for joining me on a journey where we learn from different EdTech leaders.
Welcome to Aced Tech.
What an exciting morning or afternoon, depends where you are. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me today. And as I grow, I want to grow my podcast. One of my main goals is going to be to have it primarily an audio podcast, but I want to add these new features. And it was inspired in part by Fonz. If you haven't checked out his podcast, My EdTech Life, you should check it out. And I will have a giveaway at the end, so stay tuned for the end of the show. Speaking of My EdTech Life, our next guest actually was in the podcast recently. He is from Hawthorne, New Jersey, and he works for the Upper Saddle River School. He's a technology teacher and a computer apps teacher. He's a Google for Education Level 1 and 2, an ambassador for Wakelet, WeVideo, CodeStars, and BrainPop. He has also been part of the Hawthorne Board of Education member since 2013. So I am proud to introduce Bruce. Bruce, welcome.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be on your show and excited that you're on StreamYard and everybody who's joining us today. I can't wait to talk tech with you.
Awesome. Thank you. Is there something that I missed? Is something that you want to talk about yourself that I may have forgotten to introduce yourself?
No, the bio that you read was fantastic, and I've been an educator for 25 years, and the past 13 years I've been in that tech teacher role. And one thing that's not really expounded on in the bio, but the thing I'm really proud of is my 8th grade students who are in video production. We do a live TV show in the school, and we've done that show for 12 years. So picture 8th graders coming in the morning, 15 minutes before we do the show, 15 minutes later, we're all set up. We've converted a classroom into a broadcast studio, and we stream a 6 to 8 minute live show every single day for the past 12 years and every day of school. So 170 days of the school year. And if you add up those numbers, we celebrated over our 2000th live show that the students have produced and streamed live to the school. And then we put it on our website in a public Google Drive, which is a link off the website. And the show is basically about the school, what's going on in the school, announcements. We'll have an interview or a feature every day. And I'm proud of tons of things, but especially that I built it from scratch 13 years ago. And now 13 years later, we're still going strong.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Talk about goals to have for our productions in our many schools, especially now that we're going through all of this,
Yeah, no, definitely. Media is fantastic to create, and it doesn't have to necessarily be a full TV show that you would stream live in your school. It could be any type of media that people create in the school. And I think the most powerful media is what you create from your curriculum. So you take your curriculum first, come up with a fantastic idea, and start small. Start with a 30-second podcast or public service announcement or something very, very small. Instead of, I certainly would not start and say, I'm going to do an 8 to 10 minute live newscast every single day. That's something maybe to scale up to, but start small. And if I turn back the clock 13 years ago, we literally had 5 students and 1 announcer desk and a camera person, announcer, video switcher, maybe an audio person. So about 4 or 5 students just to start the show. And then over time, you build it out. So start small, and then it's incredible what students can create.
That's awesome. Thank you for the advice. Okay, well, let's move on to the main topic.
Let's talk about the aced topic.
Okay, so here we're going to be talking about WeVideo. Tell us about it.
Sure. WeVideo is an application where you can create videos and a bunch of other things I'm going to talk about on any device. And I think that's very important. My WeVideo story is 5 years ago, my district went one-to-one with Chromebooks. And every single application that we used, we were able to do on Chromebooks, except for Google Earth at the time. Now there is a website for Google Earth. And we were actually looking for something similar to iMovie. What was a program similar to iMovie we could find? So we researched a bunch of them, and we ended up picking WeVideo because every single tool that iMovie had, WeVideo had, and it was terrific that one-to-one in Chromebooks, WeVideo runs perfectly on them. So that's how we chose WeVideo in the beginning. And to be honest with you, in the beginning, some of the teachers, but more of the students, they didn't love it in the beginning. They were used to, from 4th grade to 8th grade, only using iMovie, and they had never seen WeVideo before. So they were wondering where titles were, transitions, how to import in video, certain things that you would do, with iMovie. Well, once the students got used to it, I really liked that WeVideo. It worked perfectly with Google tools. Google Drive, to be specific. You can upload video from there. You can export video to there. And now, over the past 5 years, you not only can create videos, you can create podcasts, you can create animated GIFs, and also you can create screencasts similar to Screencastify. And the whole time you're in this one environment, called WeVideo. So I think WeVideo is a very powerful tool. And the two other things that I like about it, one is the customer service. I had never used this before 5 years ago. And whenever I have a question, I can simply reach out to them on Twitter or send them an email, and right away I'm able to get the answer. And that's been very helpful, especially in the beginning when I was trying to figure out, where is the Ken Burns effect? Where are the transitions? Where are some of these things that they're just in a different place? The other thing that's terrific about WeVideo for me is that because it is in the cloud, the students don't have to log on to the same computer every single period. And in my own world, that became not necessarily an issue, but even if students were at school, if they're called out for enrichment, basic skills, maybe they're just late or out sick that day, I would have to go look up their login for their partner and log into, let's say they were on computer number 1, that's the only computer they could work on. Well, the WeVideo environment is totally different. You log in and you can log in as partners. And if one person is not working on a project, the other person can just log into it, and they're both partners, on the project. So that was like a big change and a big helpful change for me, classroom management wise, because I didn't have to stop everything I was doing and go look up another student's login. Either student could just log in to WeVideo. And the other thing to tell you, which I really like about them, is I say that it's fluid, that they keep building, they keep adding new tools to their product. And an amazing tool they have is an stock image library. It used to be called Essentials. Now it's just called stock library. And what this does is copyright free. So any video clip, image, sound clip, sound effect students use, in the beginning, there was 100,000, then 300,000. Now, a couple of years later, there are 1 million assets in the program of WeVideo that are copyright free, and you could put any of them into your project. So for example, if you were doing a project on New York City and you needed video of New York City, it's just like a simple Google search. You type it in, it will give you professional video clips, still clips, and also audio clips with it. One thing that's cool with WeVideo is it does give you the capability to do green screen with a real green screen. But the thing that I really like is you don't need a green screen in order to use the green screen in the product. In that same library, you could just search green screen or green screen news, and it will give you a bunch of news sets. And then you take out the green screen, and all of a sudden, you're on a live professional TV studio set. Or students like to be on an iPad as they're explaining a project. And the tools in it are fantastic, and it keeps on building and getting better and better. And those are a variety of the reasons why I would definitely say, try WeVideo if you haven't tried it before. And it's all simple drag and drop. It's an easy interface. to learn.
One thing that is very important nowadays, if I may interject, is that when we're doing some lessons for anybody, whether I'm a trainer and I'm doing a lesson for the audience, or I'm a teacher and I'm doing a lesson for my students, I need to edit something, because if it's a live lesson for students, there may be some things that we need to take out. Get me?
Yeah, no, definitely. And WeVideo would be a perfect vehicle to do that, that you can just turn on the webcam on your device, record yourself, edit out whatever you need to edit. And then also as a bonus, if you add in titles, like you have titles now on Yardstream, you could also add in titles that are part of the directions of what you're telling students or other facts that you want them to know about an assignment that you might be giving them. So there are other elements that you can add in, to WeVideo and be able to edit. And for me, it gives you a lot of different options of where you can export to. But I like to export out to Google Drive and then also import in from Google Drive. I'm in a middle school environment, in a high school environment. You can export out to all these different tools, YouTube, OneDrive. There's a bunch of different options to pick. So I agree with you that it's a powerful tool. And the thing that I'm thinking of it almost as like a baseball player, they say like a 5-tool player, that the person could do all these things well. I think that's what WeVideo does. At this point, it's a 4-tool player that it could record you, it could record video, audio, your screen, and their latest came out a couple weeks ago is animated GIFs. And it's all in one place, which I think is really important. And when I go to do videos and my own workflow, I like to stay in WeVideo, Wakelet, and Google Tools, and just those 3. I know there's a lot of tools that came out during COVID that were free that are all fantastic, but I like to simplify it for myself and work in tools I'm familiar with and learn more about those tools. So I agree with you. And with the video, there are a lot of different things that you could do with it in WeVideo. And again, I think it's very simple to, learn the interface. It's a lot of drag and drop and double click on things if you want to change them.
Yeah. And other than double click, there's a few things that you can actually right click on and have those sub menus. And it's some people may be off put by the pricing, but you have an excellent point on pricing as far as how much it costs and the equipment.
Yeah, I think the pricing is definitely a point that people bring up. I've done, I don't know, hundreds of different workshops on WeVideo, and there is a free version, a light version that you could try. It doesn't let you try all of the different tools in it, but it will let you just log in. And if you want to do a simple video, it does put a watermark on it. But the point is, WeVideo will work on any device. So if I wanted to go work on WeVideo, and I have a computer here, this is like a Lenovo Chromebook that I have, right? This Chromebook costs $150. So $150 for a Chromebook. And now I know if I'm in charge of it, I'm going to have to put the subscription on for WeVideo onto that Chromebook. And it's something that's going to come up every year. And I only bring up the price if it's $150 or $200 for a Chromebook, compared to if your school's getting iPads or MacBook Pros, the price point is probably over $1,000. And iMovie does come with it for free, but you're paying a lot for the cost of the devices that you have. So the thing I would suggest for the cost is a couple of things. One is, if you do want to invest into WeVideo, you can go to the site right now, and on the education tab, you can try it for free for 30 days. It will give you the full WeVideo suite, education suite, where you could put students in, you could see how you could set up your class, you could go in, you can edit, and for 30 days, they'll give you every single tool to try. So that's one of the things that I would do if I were interested in the full version. The other thing is, I would have students create things first and then go to the decision maker, whoever it may be in your school, and say, look, my kids created animated GIFs, they created podcasts, they created screencasts for lessons, they created videos. Look at all these cool things they're doing. and then say, this is a product that I think our school should really invest in. And finally, for the money, I think one of the things, and I know our school did it, is they put out a Google form, and all the subscriptions that we were using or not using, they went and asked the teachers, and some of the ones that we weren't using as much, but maybe we used a lot in the past, they kind of ended those subscriptions. And now every single year they know they have to slot WeVideo in. And that was kind of the exchange that, that they made. So it is a good point that it is not free. There's a free version, but the strategy that I would use is I would create, because I hear this question all the time, I would create something with WeVideo, and even better, if you get back into your schools in August or September, whatever it may be, have the students create something. Have them create, this is what we learned today, and then at the end of the week, put all of those things together, and here's a whole show of what we learned this week. And then I would go show something like that, to, again, whoever the decision maker is, if it's a principal, a tech person, whoever it may be, and say, we need this, and we need the full version of this. And I want to be able to do the green screen and get all the audio files and get, the full WeVideo and try it out. So it's a great point with the price. Again, my first advice would be go to WeVideo.com, click on the education link, try for free. And if you go through that way, it gives you the full WeVideo education suite. If you just sign up for free at WeVideo.com, you're signing up for the light version, and you won't be able to have access to every single tool. So if you are an educator out there, go through that path. WeVideo.com, educator tab, sign up for free, and then you'll see. It will tell you for 30 days, this is what we're going to give you, basically the full education program, and test it out. Make something even for back to school if you're not with your students right now.
Thank you so much. One of the things that I want to mention is that WeVideo has this ability to collaborate. It doesn't have a live collaboration feature yet, but it does have a collaboration feature where more than one student can work on the same video, although not at the same time.
Correct. And, a couple things with that. We're not to the yet part, which that could be a feature that's coming out in the future. Even when someone listens to this podcast, there is a possibility in the future that more than one person could edit at the time. But if we take a look right now at the product, when one of my students is editing, the other students, it only lets them one edit at a time, the final project. There certainly is plenty to do for the other students. They could go out and get footage. They could create audio for their project and then upload the audio. They could go take pictures and then upload it, and you upload it all to a shared folder. And then the student who's actually in the project editing, all they have to do is just refresh once, and the other assets that the students are getting will then show in the team project or the collaborative project that they're working on. The other thing I've done in my own class, which is a video class where students not only create the show, but also create 2.5 minute features in about a 20-day period, which is very short, is when the students come to the very end of the editing of their project and they're just fine-tuning it and all the assets are done, I have them move on to the next project. Like, you don't have to have one student just sit there and watch somebody else edit the way that it's set up right now. You could have them move forward to the next project, whatever it may be. In my own case, it's the next news story on the school, but it could be the next video project, or make some public relations for the project that they're doing to possibly get the word out before it's published on your school site or maybe a YouTube site. There's a lot of other things that the students could do in the group. And I'm curious if that yet happens. It's going to be, if there's more than one person editing at a time, it will be interesting to see the pros and also the cons of that, because I actually do like when one person edits at a time, they're controlling everything, on the screen, and the other students certainly could go ahead and do other work.
Yeah, definitely. But the interesting thing here is that you can, whereas with another software, it's only one computer. They have to take turns on that computer in order for them to be able to edit anything. But with WeVideo, you don't have to be tied to a computer as long as you have internet access with a good Chrome browser. That's all you need.
Correct. And the other thing too is, which is not to be overlooked, is any Chrome browser is fine, but any device is fine. So you might have students in your school, if they can use their cell phones, like possibly in high school, they can go out and shoot footage. They can log into the WeVideo project and upload their video from their phone. They can edit it on an iMac. They can edit it on a Surface Pro. It will work on any device as long as they're logged in. We do it through their Google account, but it will also work perfectly fine through a Microsoft account that they could go in and work on the project. And the other important point that you said, and we hope that this never happens to anyone, if you're working on one computer with iMovie or a standalone, sometimes they call it, please, let's hope that that hard drive in the standalone never crashes, because if that crashes, then your project just crashed. Like, there's no backup of that particular project. Whereas if you're working in the cloud, which is what WeVideo is, if my Chromebook runs out of power and I don't have the charger for it, I could just hop onto any other device, Mac, PC, phone, log in, and I'm back up and running in a moment. And I think that's a really important point to make, and a big thing that differentiates it from some of the other video editing products, especially if that product lives on a specific computer. Even in the time of remote learning and COVID, because a student's project would be on, computer number 1 in my lab, that's not going to help them, with remote learning. And WeVideo fits in perfectly to remote learning, where any student could log on, make a partner, and collaborate with them, and then they're up and running and both working on their projects, like you said, wherever they have an internet connection. And in the case of March through the end of the school year for me, that could be from their home, and they're all on different devices. So that's why I really like WeVideo as a product, and I recommend it all the time, and I also use it all the time.
Awesome. My experience, which, by the way, if you didn't know, I'm also a WeVideo ambassador. And the only reason I'm a WeVideo ambassador is thanks to you, Bruce. I appreciate the guidance that you gave me to becoming a WeVideo ambassador. And the main reason I like WeVideo is because I am applying, and I heard so are you, for the Google Innovator Academy. And what did I use for my video editing software? WeVideo.
Yep, same here. And best of luck to you. Let's hope we both get in. That would be fantastic if we were both able to get into the Google Innovator Academy. And I'm thinking on the same lines as you. When I had to make a video for that, I was able to go into WeVideo, make my video, and then the export for that particular project, you have to post a public link on YouTube. I was able just to log into YouTube, which I had never done before on WeVideo, because usually I go in and out of the Google Drive, and I logged in, it found it, and the ease of use of things, on WeVideo, it makes it very user-friendly. And I also think, in itself as a tool for podcasting or screencasting or maybe making a video, it might not be as powerful as some other apps that people are using. But again, I like that everything is organized, everything is in one place. And for my students, I could just say, here's the one tool to use. And what I ended up doing with COVID was giving them choice boards at home, where they could pick between 6 different projects and all different types of projects. And they could do a podcast or a screencast or a video of all different events that are either happening in the world, the school, or even the month. That happened to be like Earth Day in May. So that was one of the projects to do, like a public service announcement for that. And it just gives them a lot of choices right within the program. And I said it before, I like to try to keep things as simple as possible of the types of software they're going to go to, and not necessarily give students 10 different choices on a project, but try to make it as simple as possible for them and for myself as the teacher, to make the workflow as simple as possible.
let's take a quick break, and we're actually gonna look at an interesting book that you'll be talking about.
Time for a quick break. #ad.
All right. So tell us about your book.
Sure. The book is called Scripted. You see it right behind me on that one. Scripted, An Educator's Guide to Media in the Classroom. It's for all teachers, K through 12. And this book really comes out of 5 years ago. I met online on Twitter, Paula Niedlinger and also Randy Tolmes. They're both educators from Indiana, so halfway across the country for me as I'm in New Jersey. And Paula in particular, when I met her first, I'm going through Twitter and I'm like, wow, there is a middle school teacher who has a TV studio. That's fantastic. Has a radio station, has the students do movies, has the students do media. These students are going to local businesses, doing commercials for those businesses, and that's how they funded their TV studio just to build it. This is a person that I need to meet. So 5 years ago, I met Paula online. Our classes through Google tools went back and forth. We did video conferencing. We looked at each other's scripts. And then 4 years later, last year, with Randy and Paula, they asked me to write this book with them. And Randy is an elementary teacher in Indianapolis for a technology magnet school. And I'm amazed and blown away that elementary students can do the type of TV show that they do and have a radio station where second, third, and fourth graders will put on a headset and all of a sudden they'll be online and they'll be, the DJ. So that's a little background on the three of us. And then really we wrote this book because we couldn't find one. We could find some books on media production, but they might have been from 2000 or 2005 or even 2010. So our goal was to write an updated book on what are all the things you need to do to build a media program in your classroom and then beyond that in your school. And two big points in this book. One is to start with what you have. You don't need to go out and buy a lot of equipment. You probably don't need to go buy any equipment. As long as you have a device that has a camera or a microphone, you are ready to create media. And more importantly, your students are ready to create media. So we really kept that in mind, is just start with what you have and be very budget conscious that you don't need to go out and buy, all of these other things. And then the second point of the book is let the curriculum drive your media projects. So the media project should not come first. To do a public service announcement, do a radio show, TV show, even make a Google slideshow that's multimedia and put it into WeVideo. It should be whatever you're studying in the classroom, whatever your curriculum is, how could you enhance it? So if you're having a debate about the Declaration of Independence, why couldn't students in your class be those people who wrote the Declaration of Independence, have it in black and white, have them dress up as the characters, and make a video about it that is much richer than just teaching them the content and having them do a test on it, or memorizing information that they could probably easily go Google and find out. And the final point of the book is really advanced learning and problem solving and skills of the future. They tie in perfectly to media creation. In fact, there are groups that go out and find out what these skills are. In 2015, creativity was the 9th skill that you needed to be successful at work, any place at work. Well, in 2020, creativity has crept up to number 2 skill that you need to have and that employers are looking for. Problem solving is still 1, creativity 2, and the other skills fit in perfectly. Collaboration, working with others, all of those skills you do if you're doing a project in a group and creating media. So this book has everything. We're excited. It's coming out August 11th. It is published by EduMatch Publishing and Sarah Thomas. If you're familiar with Sarah, it's a terrific organization. And we're really excited for teachers to get their hands on this book, go through the projects, go through the rubrics. Everything is there for you, K through 12 as a jumping off point. And even beyond, if you've started to do some type of newscast radio program, there are tons of tips and tidbits in the book, from hardware, software, curriculum, planning, community, budget. We tried to cover it all and covered it all in a new and fresh way. To go with the book, we're going to have a website And also we're going to have a Wakelet site that will keep everything updated, hardware, software, and things that at the time when the book was written probably weren't even around. Some tools that came out afterwards. We're going to have the Wakelet site with all of those cool things for our readers to go to and to be able to see. And the other cool idea on the Wakelet site is this will be the first ever full Wakelet site that's a companion to a book. And on that site, there will be a public place where teachers could put students' work and exemplars. And I don't know what people are going to create, but I'm excited to see what their students create and then to publish it on our public Wakelet page.
Awesome. Thank you. And on my end, I just want to mention again that I am going to have a giveaway at the end of the show. So just stick around. The giveaway, which is serendipitous, I guess, it's also on August 11th. So I'm going to choose the winner August 11th. Stick around towards the end where I'll give you the link to fill out.
Cool. August 11th is going to be a big day for us, and I think the pre-order of the book will even be at the end of July. But I know Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the rest, August 11th is going to be the official date that people could go out and purchase the book. So Tuesday, August 11th. Yep, it's going to be a big day for both, and for your listeners and viewers of whatever you are giving away. Stay tuned.
Awesome.
Education should be mobile with Aced apps.
Okay, so for this part, we're going to be talking about your recommendation either for an Android app or a Chrome extension.
I have a fantastic one to share with your listeners and your viewers. It's a Chrome extension that just came out like a week ago, and your students did not use this past school year. But how would you like to click on a button where you could record video and embed it right into Google Slides? So you have a slide open, you want to record yourself and put it right into the slide. There had been no easy way to do this, but Clay Codes has created, it's called Record to Slides. It is a Google extension which is free in the Google Chrome store. And Record to Slides, you install it on your device. Then you open up Google Slides, and all of a sudden, this little tiny blue camera with a plus sign appears, and you record and you embed yourself right into your Google slideshow. And I think this is going to be a game changer for every educator who's coming back to school in the fall, because this is probably the simplest way to create video from a tool that you're already used to using in Google Slides. So my recommendation, and I'm just looking that I have the correct name, Record to Slides by Clay Codes, and also go to the Clay Codes site. He has tons of other extensions that are fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. So yes, it's very new. I've been seeing it on Twitter a lot, so it's awesome. Okay. Well, that's all we have for today. And I just want to say thank you so much for being part of episode 33. And it's aced.tech/33 if you want to get the show notes. And now for the announcement that I've been wanting to give. I need to turn off my green screen here, because some of this stuff you cannot see because it's either close to green or not. So the first example is a Pear Deck shirt and an actual pear from Pear Deck. This is courtesy of Pear Deck. Thank you so much. Another thing that I'm going to be giving away is a AR VR set, which is a merge cube and an HMH headset, which requires your phone. The other thing that I'm going to be giving away is the cell phone set, which is a fast charger, thanks to Clear Touch. A stylus, And this part right here, that one is if you still have the headphone jack, that plugs to the headphone jack for no other reason than to make sure that it doesn't get lost. So it's great if you use Bluetooth headphones. And the last one is going to be a portable charger. It's inside a box. It's a portable charger. It uses micro USB, but it has a regular USB for any charging. And each one will also include the Ace Tech or the EduGoog Droid stickers. So how are we going to get this? Visit j.mp/acetech20. This is the major giveaway. So there's going to be at least 3 winners. There could be more if I have more, if more arrive by the time the giveaway finishes. So I'm ordering some new stickers. I should have enough stickers for more than 3 winners by then. So once again, j.mp/ACEDTECH20.
Are guests eligible for those? Because I don't have a couple of those things.
Hey, sign up, and why not? I'm kidding. No, you're gonna get a sticker no matter what.
No, I know. I'm good. No, that's fantastic. Sign up, for the contest. And a couple other things that are just on my mind before we leave today. One is, I know at the end of the month, WeVideo is having their first ever online conference. So be on the lookout for that. I think it's July 28th to the 30th. And you could sign up. They're terrific sessions that are going to be there on the WeVideo online workshops that they're going to be doing. It's going to be 3 full days of it. And I think it's the first time that they're doing something like this. So if you're around at the end of the summer and want to learn more about WeVideo, I know there's tons of different presentations that are going to be done about using video in the classroom.
All right, Bruce, I just want to say thank you for helping me and my audience grow professionally. I am grateful for the effort you took to share your thoughts and experiences about WeVideo. And thank you again for being part of episode 33 of Ace Tech.
Thank you so much for having me on today. And I'm honored that I think I say it to my students all the time. You never know what you're going to say or even what you're going to tweet out that's going to affect somebody. So I'm so glad that you became, a WeVideo ambassador. And for your listeners and viewers, please reach out to me at Reicher on Twitter, and I'm happy to collaborate, learn, and share together.
Awesome. And again, the show notes, ace.tech/33. You'll have all his information. You can find him on Twitter, LinkedIn, and many other places. I'm Mr. G. Cheers.
Thank you for listening to Aced Tech.
I would love to hear from you. Send me a message on aced.tech/feedback, where you can record your voice, tag me on Twitter, or call me to leave me a voice message. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe on the Google or Apple Podcast app, or anywhere podcasts are found. I'm Mr. G. Cheers.